Hey everybody, welcome to the Vinyl channel. I'm that Vinyl Guy Boz. On this video, I'm going to be doing the vinyl tag for 2022. I'll be doing the Rob Walker edition. So he has 22 questions for us to answer. I got a stack of records next to me to show you. So I have that coming up, so stick around and don't touch that dial. Okay, welcome back. So let's go ahead and get started on these 22 questions. So the very first question that Rob has for us is favorite album purchased in 2021. So I already have a video out there I put out a couple weeks ago of my top 10 favorite purchases of 2021. So now these weren't my absolute favorite. These are just favorites that I picked out. So there are other favorites that I didn't include in that video. So I'm going to include one of those favorites in this video. If you do want to see the original video I put up of my top 10 favorite pickups from 2021, I will go ahead and put a card up above so you can go ahead and check that out. Okay. So let's go ahead and get to this favorite album purchase from 2021. Okay, so this is it here. This is Asia Under the Bridge. This is an amazing album that I picked up last year. So this is a live album. This was made kind of like a gray market bootleg record, but this is an official. As you can see here, this says here, official Asia release. So this is numbered. So you can see back here, this is number 200 of 1000. So I'm a huge fan of Asia. Let me go ahead and show you the inside of this. That's pretty cool. So this is a double LP set, has 2 records, but what's very cool about this is I do believe that this is the only album like this that they made. Okay, it has all the songs off of their debut 1982 album, their very first album. Heat of the Moment, Only Time Will Tell, Soul Survivor, One Step Closer, Time Again, Wildest Dreams, Without You. I believe that's all the tracks off their very first album, and they record them in that order that they appeared on the first album live on this album, which makes this a very, very awesome Asia album. Okay, so now we're moving on to question number 2. Album by first band. I think he had person, but I'm going to replace it with band. Album by first band you saw live. So the very first band I saw live was Styx. That was in 1983 at the Lakeland Civic Center. That was for the Kilroy Was Here tour. Amazing concert. Okay, and this is an album by them. This is Styx Cornerstone. This was released in 1979. This is their only album that they had a #1 hit, which was Babe. So this is actually also an awesome pressing copy of the album because it has the band sign the album, and you see here Dennis DeYoung, Tommy Shaw, etc., etc. So one of my prize jewels in my entire collection is this signed Styx album. So very cool. Okay, so moving on now to question number 3, album by a duo. Okay, and that would be this album here. This is by 2 sisters, and the name of the band is Larkin and Poe. The name of the album is Self-Made Man. So I do have 3 or 4 of their albums. They're actually very good. They're considered an American roots rock band. So they kind of remind me a little bit of Heart, not as hard as Heart is, but definitely some influence there of Heart. Definitely, they do have a little bit of twang here and there in their songs, but from what I understand, they're called an American roots rock band, and the sisters are from North Georgia. So very cool record. I like them a lot. All right, so moving on to question number 4, album in shrink. Okay, and that would be this album here. This is Vanilla Fudge, their self-titled album from 1968. So this is actually a reissue. It was reissued by Sundazed. I do believe this is a white vinyl album. Now it's still, not only is it in shrink, it's still sealed. So I haven't opened this yet, haven't had time to play it. So, but this is a album still in the shrink. So this is again, this is a mono copy. So, but yeah, so this is an album that I still have in the shrink. Okay, so moving on to question number 5, concept album. Okay, and that'd be this album here. This is Sammy, Hagar, and the Circle, Space Between. This was released in 2019. Let me go ahead and open the cover for you so you can take a look at that. So here's what the back looks like. But yeah, it's a very awesome album. The concepts on this are money, greed, enlightenment, and truth. So I just played this one last week. I mean, this is a very good Sammy Hagar album, and his new band, The Circle. Okay, now moving on to question number 6. Album you've not played yet. Okay, and that'd be this album here. This is Scorpions, Love at First Sting. This is a recently released reissue. This is a 50th anniversary. There's also two CDs in here. Also includes 2 CDs. So yeah, but I have not played this yet. It is still sealed. So I do like Scorpions a lot. Actually, I've never owned this album before. When I played it, it'd be my first time hearing this entire album in its entirety. Okay, so moving on to number 7, artists you discovered in 2021. Okay, and that would be this band right here, Blackberry Smoke. I do have a couple of their albums now. Very, very awesome group, and this is a very awesome album. This is on orange vinyl, but very awesome group. They are what I consider Southern rock, very similar to like Leonard Skinner, but a little bit more modern. They're just very good, so I really like them a lot. All right, moving on to question number 8, live album. Okay, and that'd be this album right here. This is Rush, Ohio in 1975. So this was recorded in Cleveland, Ohio in 1975, hence the name. So this is a live from their Fly By Night tour. It had a bunch of songs from the live Fly By Night album. So it's very cool. This is a gray market bootleg. But it's very cool to have. Okay, moving on to question number 9. Album from a different continent. Okay, and that'd be this one here. This is from a band called Stonefield. I'm gonna try to make sure you can see the name on the album cover. So the name of the album is As Above, So Below. This is the band's actually second album. This one was released in 2016. So this is an Australian band. It was pressed on an Australian label. So very cool. It's a rock band. So a very good album. So Stonefield, As Above, So Below. Okay, so moving on to question number 10. Album with the price tag on the jacket. Okay, we have this album right here. As you can see here, here's the price tag is up here. This is for $4. This is a pretty cool record. This is a direct-to-disc record. It's called Power Rock. It is a instrumental record. They do covers of popular songs from the time. This was actually from 1976. So they do a cover of Heartless by Heart. They have Loggins and Messina medley. You Should Be Dancing by the Bee Gees cover. So it's just a very cool album. Let me go ahead and show you the inside. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. Okay, so moving on to number 11, punk or new wave album. Okay, and that would be this one right here. This is Spandau Ballet. This is Parade, which was released in 1984. So this is a British new wave band. So they did have a couple hits in the U.S. They had True and they had Gold. But yeah, so I really do like Spandau Ballet a lot. Okay, number 12, Boxset. And that would be this year. This is Kansas, Leftoverture, Live and Beyond. This is a 4-album box set. So very cool. I'm going to go ahead and take the records out here so you can take a look at all of their albums. But it's very cool. They have a bunch of their hits, including Point of No Return, Dust in the Wind, Carry On My Wayward Son, etc., etc. So very cool box set by Kansas. Okay, number 13, Sporting Theme Album. Okay, and that's this one here. This is Turntable Baseball. So this was released for Record Store Day a few years ago. It's very cool. So it has 13 grooves. So depending on which actual groove your stylus ends up in, each game is different. So it's very cool to have. So there you go. Okay, so number 14, Jazz Album. Okay, and now with this record right here, this is Harry James Jazz Session. This is from 1955. It's a really good jazz album. I definitely recommend it. Okay, and number 15, Best of Album. Okay, and so I chose this one here. Here's another Styx album. So this is Styx the Collection. This is basically it's a best of. This is the best of their wood and nickel releases. So this is actually a German pressing. So it's very cool. Okay, number 16, album with at least 8 people on the cover. Okay, now by people, you already meant characters, right? I'm going to assume you meant characters and not just people. And to that, we have this here. This is Vince Guaraldi, Peanuts Portraits. You see on the front cover, they have 8 characters. So we're going to go left to right. We have Sally, Charlie, Violet, Schroeder, Peppermint Patty, Snoopy, Lucy, Linus, and Woodstock. And yes, Snoopy and Woodstock are people. Okay, number 17 is soundtrack. Okay, and I went with Little Shop of Horrors. This is one of my favorite movies of all time, and the soundtrack is awesome as well. This is a movie from 1986. It stars Rick Moranis, Steve Martin, Vincent Gardena, and Ellen Green as Audrey. So it's a very, very, very cool movie, very cool soundtrack. Okay, number 18, Show VCLT. So what I'm going to do is show you a record that was given to me. This was given to me by a neighbor. He actually stopped by the house a while ago. I moved into this house this year, so I haven't been here that long. But I do have neighbors who are finding out that I do have a record collection, as you can see behind me. So he stopped by the house and he gave me a record. And that would be this album here. This is Lionel Ritchie's debut album, self-titled. It's from 1982. So I didn't have it, and I do like Lionel Ritchie, so I do thank my neighbor for giving it to me. So there you go. All right, so question number 19, album with no writing on the jacket or the cover. So I went with this one here. This is Santana's Greatest Hits. It does have a sticker here, as you can see on the front, and down here some writing, but these are actually on the cellophane. And on the shrink, these are not on the cover, but on the front cover of this album, there is no writing. So there you go. Okay, so we're getting down to the end here. We just have a couple questions left. So let's see, this is number 20, 7-inch single. Okay, and I went with this one here. This is a Dickie Goodman single from 1961. This is horror movies. Now, Dickie Goodman is more known for his breakout stuff, like the Flying Saucer and stuff like that. But this one here, he actually sings on, so it's very cool. There's not a whole lot of singles that Dickie Goodman actually sings on. So this is actually the pink variant of this. There's also a red variant. From what I understand, the red variant is much more common. This one is a little bit harder to find, but I do have it here. So I'm a big fan of Dickie Goodman. So there you go. Okay, and question number 21, colored vinyl album. Okay, and that would be this album here. This is Otis Blue, Otis Redding Sings Soul. This is 180 gram reissue. So it was reissued a few years ago on this awesome blue vinyl. Let me go ahead and get this out so you can get a better look at it. So there you go. So we have Otis Blue, Otis Redding Sings Soul. Okay, and the final question, number 22. Album from 1982. Okay, so I went with this one here. This is Kiss, Creatures of the Night. Okay, now this album was originally released in 1982. This particular variant here, though, was actually reissued in 1985. It's very cool. It has them without the makeup on. It has Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, Eric Carr, and Bruce Kulick on the front cover. So very, very cool. Okay, and there you have it. There's my vinyl tag for 2022. I do hope that you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please go ahead and put it down below. I tried to go respond to all questions, but I do want to thank you for joining me today. If you have not subscribed to my channel, now is a great time to do so. Go ahead and click on that subscribe button and mash on that bell for notifications. And I'll see you all next time.